Hello everyone, we are here on the 31 August into the Chief Delegate, all delegate, open to Idoneos member. So let's start into with the agenda, Gabriel.
Thank you, Patrick. So we've got a few nice items to go through, and we've also got a diagram that a few of us produced in the recent Incubator slash Ambassador program call. So maybe we can touch on that at least for this recording and share it with the community and delegates. So there we go. So first off, Tech Dev Working Group, Dwayne, over to you.
Thank you. We had a proposal sent in a little while ago, and we're just reviewing it. The proposal was from Vlad to offer the tech dev group the Fractally program, and he's split it out into what is needed or what he believes he can offer. Very reasonable. We're just going back and forth, a little bit of clarification. We did get some clarification regarding the MSIG system, and the MSIG for the whole system would be for the CDs to maintain control over the Genesis.eden account would be with the active permissions. I guess the owner permissions would stay as Genesis.eden, so there's a little bit of clarification there. So just going back and forth, seeing if this is of use to us in this term, if it's of use going forward. And then there's been questions too. There might be some of these applications as far as, say, dynamic MSIGs and different things that might be of interest. So yeah, we'll have next Thursday, I expect we'll have a answer back at our next tech dev meeting on Tuesday, and then can come back to the whole group here next Thursday to give you an update on how that's progressed.
Just in the past day or two, we had an amazing update from the backend devs that a particular annoying bug that meant that when people create proposals, they weren't able to select a date, and unless the developers manually added the dates into the calendar. It's like the most ridiculous, annoying thing. So it required manual attention for developers. Every DAO that was created, and we couldn't open up the beta launch and have hundreds of DAOs created because the dev would have to spend all of his time doing this stupid manual entry of data. So that was just fixed. And I'm not sure that there's much more on this beta launch list. So we're hearing it first in the Eden community that Hypha beta launch is imminent. There's going to be user acceptance testing internally. Then we're going to roll it out to some of the alpha and beta tester groups, which Eden is part of. So very, very soon, if we as a community want to start kicking the tires and setting things up in Hypha, we will be able to do so. Maybe next week, literally. And this is a bit different to the upvote process that is working in parallel. I'll be able to share more on that when I have the solid update from the dev team in our tech working group. But in my mind is that the front end code of just for those of you who haven't heard, the front end code of the upvote process has been done. I have shared a couple of updates. I shared a Figma video walkthrough. We can get a demo if we want to, but the platform is not yet connected to the smart contract. So it's dummy data, but it's functional. I've seen it. If anyone really wants to, then we can set that up and take up some time of some of the Hypha folks. But that smart contract work, I believe, is happening over the next couple of weeks. So I still think that by mid-September, we should be able to say yes or no whether we're going to be able to make use of the Hypha-based upvote process for the coming election, which is 8th of October. So not 100%. I'm feeling optimistic and positive, and I'll share as many more updates as I get them. Well, I'm trying. I have a small contribution to those bits, a bit of shaping and planning and working with the team and like a bit of project management, but massive effort from the developers really. And they're juggling just a backlog of tech debt. Hypha was built as a prototype and not a functional platform at first, and then they realized, well, let's actually turn this into a commercial product, not just for the original seeds community. And then ENF came along and supported, and so there's been a lot of tech debt rewrite. So things are taking a bit longer, but they're going to fully refactor the code base. So I'm a small cog in the wheel, hopefully making a contribution, but the developers are doing a fantastic stand-up job. So let's move on. Reputation. We got Sasha. I don't know if he's on the call, but who wants to speak to that section?
It appears that he's not on the call. I can simply say that more progress has been made in the development of the UI. We were discussing filtering and sorting of the participants in the last call. Generally, I don't know if Adam wants to add a little bit more to that, but I think that's about as far as we got there, or Patrick, who was also on the call.
I said I think we're good. That's pretty much it. I would say we're probably like 1 to maybe 2 weeks away from kind of having the final mock-ups done, seems like.
Cool.
Great.
All right. Thanks, Adam. So Patrick, do you want to go through Comms&Media?
Yes, so Comms&Media, I was with Veronica today for the coming meeting tomorrow, Friday, at 15 UTC. So she has created an agenda. It's in Comms&Media, published now, and pinned message. So the official agenda of all our meetings. And she has worked also on a link tree. And I could say it's still in progress because we have to figure out which links we want to put into the link tree. But basically, she has already made a bunch of links, and it's already functional. So, and we are working on the announcements that we have to do into our pipeline for August. So there are already produced a video of the Hypha announcement, coming announcement, one pager of Gabriel, and a video doing a nice resume of that. And there are other content that are already produced that just need now to be tweeted with the Twitter account of the CDs, not the Twitter account Eden OS, because this one, we don't have the credential, and I think we will not have, but at least the Twitter CDs, we have the credential, and we can do one voice tweet for the content that we have for August, and we will iterate for September. So, and Liam will be there. So that's tomorrow, the next call. There is progress there.
Basically, just more discussion regarding the investment part of the talk, seeing if there's a way to invest the current treasury. Basically, from my conversations with Dania, they're saying that it would just be a question of us voting first, and then we could do something about maybe if we voted for a proxy or something of that nature, then we could start getting rewards. That could be an option. So something to think about. And then the Gabriel, I don't know if you want to speak to that, where you developed this Eden operating expense tracker.
Yeah, sure. So I've shared the link again, just to get it recorded on the video for folks at home who will watch this. The idea is to be transparent, track the operating expenses, make the decisions in consensus as a community to the extent that the bylaws specify, right? And also use this as kind of a mini proposal tracker. So we've got, like, people can add their idea of an operating budget request, and The background and purpose can go in that column. The general approach that they think they would take for the project goes in that column. And then the specific outcomes and deliverables goes in that column. So it's kind of a logical sequence to break down. There's a purpose, there's a reason for needing something. This is the general approach we'll take, and this is what we're going to get out of it. And then from there might be a specific cost that is proposed. Maybe the chief delegates would allocate a specific budget for something, or a person who is proposing work would propose their own price for it. And these things have to be negotiated as a community. My sentiment is, I don't want to go off the rails here or big rant here, but we want to fund people in the community. At the same time, we have a dwindling treasury, and we're not clear, none of us, on what is worth spending money on that will help us grow the treasury, right? That was the big focus of this season, was to take the experimental purpose paper from Lenny and Mo and figure out, is this a model that will gain support from funders so we can have a bigger treasury and then be able to do all of the projects that we want to do in the community. So even though times are tight at the moment, we're still developing the process as a community that hopefully will take us forward. So we can go to the funders and say, look, we have a legit operating expense budget system, we have XYZ, and they'll support us. And then hopefully we'll have treasury to fund the projects that help the community. If it's a project that we don't have consensus can really help the community to grow, then the idea is that that's not going to be funded. So that's kind of my mini rant. I'll stop there on that. But so this is a step in that direction. And then we've got the status, whether it's paid, whether it's approved, or whether it needs clarification. And at the end of the day, some things won't be funded. And there'll just have to be that decision that gets made in the community with whatever structure we emerge with. Any reflections, comments on that from anyone?
So when we want to pay, for example, Luca Persik for the upvote bot, now we have made an MSIG, and the CDs we have approved the MSIG. So Luca will be paid for the stabilization of the bot, for the upvote bot. And that's if we use an MSIG, we have the column M here with the MSIG. We will put the link to the MSIG for transparency. So that's the process. Yeah.
I think we're done with the finance elections. Whilst it's on my mind, we, the chief delegates, need to pull together our proposal for the next set of bylaws, because the goal still is to ratify the season 6, because that moves us in a strong direction. But we need to do what I platformed for, which is making sure that the nuanced details work for everyone and we get consensus as much as possible. But also with this adjustment of the concept from only being an incubator to being an ambassador program, leading towards being an incubator potentially over time, if it fits in with the ecosystem in light of EOS Labs as being announced as an incubator. So those bylaw drafts, we're going to start pulling those together based on all the conversations in the community, etc., and start to have that available for the review by the community ASAP. Is my view on it. Patrick, Mo, if you've got any reflections on that, please go for it.
I would just generally say that that is accurate. The separation between the three now 4 documents that we've created needs to also happen. And maybe pulling back this draft to just limit the scope to the ambassador program with, as you were saying, the longer term vision of Incubator. So as we get closer to that, as we build up to that, maybe the bylaws start reflecting the direction as we get there, instead of all at once.
Great. All right. So officially in this governance bylaws section, we got code of conduct update about the moderator selection. Mo, did you want to do that?
yeah, just generally more development happened in terms of the moderator selection process, the requirements for becoming a moderator, what they are, and yeah, just looked at that, expanded out a little bit more on it.
So Eden Ambassador Community. These are the items, elements that we need to think about. We need to promote, if we're going to be an ambassador community, we're obviously going to be promoting ourselves as an ambassador community, and that will be a big emphasis of what we do as working groups. Everything should be towards supporting Eden as an ambassador community until we can evolve to be anything more, such as a functional incubator. We need to be aligned with the funding from the network, and that we can refer to the previous incubator funding pitch deck that was in development, and we're just going to be able to make changes and present that again to the community as part of the proposal of the bylaws. The unique selling proposition, the value proposition for the ambassador program, we have to be clear on that. So something like collaborative synergy of EOS enthusiasts to promote the EOS ecosystem. We can play around with the language, expand on it, but we're trying to find what is the generally agreeable essence of what we're trying to do. And that might cut across the EOS server, Discord server. It might be that there are groups working on various things. We want to make this not a segmented, siloed, like Eden Fractal over here and EOS Discord over there. It's like we should be a community that wants to be able to represent the holistic value of the EOS ecosystem and find that synergy across the different groups of interest that are part of our wider community. And then what do we do as ambassadors? Well, part of it is marketing content. And Dominic has asked a question in the chat group about producing content. So that can be part of that conversation. Patrick, I'm really enthusiastic about the video that Patrick turned my written script or article into a fun Web3 crypto type style video. And I quite enjoyed it, and I think that can reach a good part of the Web3 audience. It's the kind of content that we haven't had in the EOS community, fun Web3 crypto. You see it on the social media for ICOs. It's like it had that kind of flavor to me of ICO marketing, and we should be able to reach a wider crypto interested audience with that kind of content. So this is a big conversation. This is the working group, Comms&Media, for the marketing content. So we have a nice list there: slide decks, articles, news, mind maps, social, post library, video, podcast, educational stuff. And then we've also got live experiences. Part of an ambassador program could be, maybe should be, that we're running workshops, we're doing spaces on Twitter, networking events, local online meetup groups, fireside chats, and I think we missed out conferences somehow from that list. So attending conferences. And there's a conversation about how far do we want to lean to being branded educational ambassador program versus trying to source commercial opportunities for the ecosystem. Again, verified ambassadorship, we just need a way to filter and select and approve people to become ambassadors in the community. And part of that is, it's a branding exercise as well. It's saying that this is a special community and you've got to fit X, Y, and Z to be able to be part of our privileged community. So things like that they're able to describe and present the benefits of EOS, that they've got EOS crypto wallet and they're able to onboard a newbie with a new EOS crypto wallet. These kind of things will be in our the concept is that it's in the ambassador program. And then maybe the last thing here is the segments. We don't know what segments we might need to go after. That's another big choice. Are we going to go after game? Do we want to represent EOS in the gaming community, in the supply chain community, in the retail and e-commerce? Some of them, none of them, all of them. That's to be determined, and that's part of the conversation. And then splitting up into Web3 services that DAOs, such as in the Hypha network, might want to use us for. We might be looking at DAO enablement. So we actually are ambassadors of what a DAO is and help DAOs establish themselves. and also non-DAOs that are like some Web3 projects. They don't want to be a DAO. They don't have to be a DAO, in my opinion. But we want to be able to segment and be relevant for those different kind of categories. Any questions on that, specifically on that diagram or the direction of an ambassador program? If anyone's got references of ambassador programs you've seen that you've liked, or things that you've seen that you didn't like about ambassador program, feel free to jump in now or share it in the channels. We want that stuff as we organize this together. Dominic, you got your hand up, go for it. But also, Dominic, could you please just kind of describe a bit about your idea of content contributions, or what your note was in the chat channel as well?
Yeah, well, I took a I know Patrick's got the comm circle tomorrow, so I'll certainly show up there. Patrick, thank you for that. Just quickly, I think the ambassador thing is actually a great idea. I really do. You know, all communities need customer service, whether they like it or not, or whether they acknowledge it or not. You know, ways in which new people can come into the community and feel like they're welcome, just wanted. Also, all communities need relationships, partnerships, you know, presence. And this would be this probably is one of the perfect use cases for the Eden community. I really do believe that, right? People here are Eden enthusiasts, obviously. I mean, maybe not all of us. Maybe there's a few Polygon spies somewhere, or Ethereum hacks wandering around the dregs, but you guys get my point. So 100% on that. I think that's cool. My idea on content was almost somewhat similar to the ambassador, or at least sideways, is that we haven't really had it, right? Where's Eden's social media presence? We have documentation, we do. I've written a lot of it for the elections. Other people have written a lot, you know, but if we are expecting to be here for more than, you know, another 3 to 6 months, if the goal is to really sort of slowly, you know, transform this organization some way, somehow, over the next several months, we still need this. We still need a brand presence. We need to be known. People need to be caring about us. They need to, you know, Eden needs to be in people's minds. You know, right now, nobody knows who we are. Now, I'm sure I'm probably repeating a ton of stuff from comms, but I love writing. I know Eden. I think there's a lot of stuff I could write about. I could write about stuff from the beginning and the genesis, and just kind of, you know, how cool it was, and, you know, the sort of idealism and the hopes, and then the you know, the transformations along the way, and also, you know, make you know, video content, and, you know, and I think there just needs to be, you know, maybe a few of us really doing that, but more importantly, doing it consistently and for longish periods of time. So I'm going to talk more on comms and media tomorrow, so I don't take up too much of this, but you know, I think I bring a really unique perspective. I mean, I'm the second member, you know, it's just, yeah, I'd love to do it. I'd love to be of service like that.
Thanks, Dom. Patrick, any thoughts there?
Yeah, I just want to complement what just Dom stated about the content creation, and on the video side, that's very important. And that's not just have to be one video one time, then another video in another month. It should be very consistency, month after month. And we have to become a little like a media engine, where we produce, but always aligned with the text, aligned with the content, because those videos are generated using AI and ChatGPT also. And that's very important, that we don't treason what is written into the creator content. Like, for example, Gabriel recently doing a one-pager about Hypha announcement, me trying to do the video to represent the better what he has stated. Now, if Gabriel change his words into his content, I have just to refresh the video, and that's made, and choose right images on the point, and a concise video of 3 minutes, 4 minutes, not more. Otherwise, the retention of the people is not there. So welcome tomorrow into the Comms&Media for sure. There are appointed people tomorrow into the call. Liam, Veronica, appointed on the actions that we are continuing to do. So there is a continuous flow. And because you come tomorrow, if you come tomorrow, Dominic, that will be totally on point because we are discussing about those content. So I think that cannot be better. Okay.
To close off that point, just for Dom's perspective, this live experiences box on the map here, this is what I would support, right? In terms of content creation, the historical experience of the evolution of the community, tying that in with current trends and what the community can do, and then seeing how we move that into like workshops, slide decks, local meetup groups, any content that would be able to promote us as a global community of things happening around the world. I think I would really support that kind of content creation. So just wanted to put that in your mind as I'm not sure if I can join the working group call tomorrow, but just wanted to put that on the table.
Or maybe something on this schema now, on the right of the schema on the bottom, you see you have Venture Ambassador, so Venture Builder Ambassador, that do the business development and commercial opportunity development, thanks to the promotional ambassador and technical ambassador that have already made the job. So the promotional ambassador and technical ambassador are subs ambassadors of the Venture Builder Ambassador, because the Venture Builder Ambassador is the iceberg, the top of the iceberg, visible part for the external world that are the Web 2, Web 3 solution on the market. And that will help to filter and select into our incubator, because we are no more an incubator-oriented VC. We are an incubator-oriented selector and filter of Web 2, Web 3 solutions for EOS, because we are hidden on EOS, just to be clear. Okay.
Yeah, I like that distinction as well. It's like different voices in social media. You might have a venture style social media post that speak about the business opportunities. You got the promotional ambassador, which is more of your typical degenerate crypto investor style, like a hype kind of thing. And we need some of that tone of voice, because that's how blockchains attract the masses of investors in a bull run. And then the technical ambassador stuff, like the technical solutions tone of voice, I think that's pretty interesting how that might convert into different types of content. SEO content, if we're going to do a website, we need lots of content, build that out. There's like so many different directions.
We have to select through the ambassador application portal. So on this mind map here, there is a box ambassador approval program, and that's also the point to have a portal where we receive the applications and someone say, okay, I want to be a promotional ambassador. Okay, how you fulfill to the criteria? Technical ambassador, how you fulfill to the criteria? And you say, if you say, I want to be a venture builder ambassador, you have to fulfill to some criteria also.
Acting commercial opportunity into the EOS ecosystem, and maybe acting like as a filter into the EOS labs, if that ends up what it needs to be, but just attracting founders and talent, maybe not developers, because that's the technical ambassador. So attracting founders into the EOS ecosystem, that kind of thing. All DAOs of a blockchain are ambassador DAOs. That they have to represent their organizational purpose and their brand and their community. So they have ways of doing business development and marketing. And so it's the best fit, I think, that we can find to supporting the EOS ecosystem. So yeah, Chief Delegates, we've got some work cut out for ourselves. We want to try and take these kind of maps that we've been ideating and bring it into a document that is presentable to the community for approvals and consensus. We've got to do bylaws so that we can propose that in the next couple of weeks, is my understanding by the schedule.
Yeah, we have the dates. We have the dates for that. That's the 23 September for the Tom 6 bylaw to ratify, and 24 September for the Term 7 bylaw proposed. Correct, Mo?
Correct.
Thank you. So now you know it's written.
All right, Mo, anything else on your mind? Anything you want to share?
No, I think I'm good. The debate's been had in the Incubator Telegram channel. I think I'd rather hear from anyone else that hasn't joined how they feel about the ambassador program, the direction. Generally, I'm supportive. I think it's the fundamental building block for the Incubator direction in the future. The idea that we have to build around this, the tech dev circle, the comms media circle, the bylaws, the financial circle, all these things need to come into cohesion and complement the direction of the DAO overall. So those are things to keep in mind, and yeah, it's basically just putting the pieces together at this point. Hopefully we can present something in terms of the bylaws that captures all of this, gives it the structure that's required to keep everyone focused and productive. Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
So maybe as of next week, we'll be able to start populating Hypha with the roles and also start using that for the proposals to put things on chain up for vote and figure that out. We need to make that part of the bylaws as well. Patrick, last thoughts?
And I think we are pivoting well since August 17. That makes sense. Okay. Thank you very much.
I'll
Talk to you soon. Yeah.